The big news from training today, Jonathan Rodriguez was at the training facility, but he is out for the 2025 season. He led the team in goals last year with 16 in 2024, and he's only played 185 total minutes this season. This was a knee injury that popped up, and I know Phil Neville was pessimistic about all the way back at the Coachella Valley Invitational in early February, and it just never quite healed. It was a lingering knee issue, and he will be shut down for the season with season-ending surgery.
It doesn't look great for Jona this season. We haven't had an official report out yet, but it'll be a miracle if we see Jona back on the field this season.
The Timbers are hoping their future business is as good as the signing of Jimmer Fory. He's not taking up a DP slot or even a U22. Jimmer Fory is on a TAM deal, and boy, what production have they gotten from the star left back. He talked about his adjustment to the league just 4 or 5 months in.
Hola, buenos días. Creo que al principio pues me costó muchísimo pues adaptarme al clima, al grupo, y obviamente pues es normal porque es primera vez que salgo pues de mi país, pero ahora me he venido sintiendo pues mucho mejor. Creo que me he venido adaptando de la mejor manera y ya me siento pues con más confianza y más adaptado pues a lo que quiere el profe, pues a la idea de juego, y de verdad que estoy muy contento.
Good morning. I think at first it cost me a little bit to adapt, especially to the weather and the group. And obviously it's normal as it was my first time leaving my country. Today, I feel like I've been adapting and I feel more confident and I am more adapted to what the coach wants and the game plan.
So who are some of the figures this year that you've gotten to know that you didn't really talk too much last year or are new in 2025?
Oh, Jimmer Fory, 100%. He's a character and a half. I wish I could understand him more with that language barrier, but like from the very little Spanish that I do know, I could get that he is just, wow. Like he is someone he's a good guy. He's a good guy to have in the locker room.
Does he have any sayings in English that he likes to utilize?
I mean, we had that one. I don't know if you remember. We did that one clip for the LAFC game, the chainsaw one, where we kind of replicated an old SNL skit. And now he actually just learned the word chainsaw that week, and that's kind of his only word that he's trying to use now. So he keeps yelling chainsaw in the locker room, and obviously we're laughing at him because he's just taking the piss.
Timbers head coach Phil Neville will be suspended for the game on Friday night because of 3 yellow cards he's picked up, most recently last weekend against St. Louis. In steps Dave Vandenberg. It's actually the second time this has happened during the Phil Neville tenure, and it worked out awfully well the first time around when Dave Vandenberg was on the touchline for a 4-1 victory over Nashville SC. And Vandenberg, this is a special game for him. He's facing the coach he used to work under for 4 years in New England in Bruce Arena.
Phil is obviously still coaching the team on a daily basis. He'll be in the locker room during the pregame talk. It'll just be on the sideline and at halftime. And the good part about having worked with Phil for the past year and a half and with the same staff for the past year and a half, we know what we want out of the players. We know what to expect out of a game. I know what to expect every halftime I come in, and so nothing changes for the boys. It'll just be a different voice. It'll be Dutch instead of English.
The Timbers have not been prolific off of corners the last couple of years, but David Ishala's game winner is hoping to change that. I talked with Timbers assistant coach Shannon Murray, who Phil Neville credited for on that corner kick routine, on what went well that maybe you or I didn't notice.
Probably the 3 blockers. So Anthony, Kamal, and I think it was Zupa, whose roles were the way they were defending it with 3 markers for our 4 or 5 guys. The role of those first 3 guys was basically to block or to drag those guys away, and they did it, created the space for David, and then Santi's service ended up really well, and the timing, turned out well.
The biggest stat in this one for me is a historical one. In 18 attempts, the San Jose Earthquakes have never won at Providence Park. 14 losses and 4 draws. The Timbers are hoping to continue that and get their first win over San Jose this year after San Jose knocked them out of the Open Cup about a month ago and had a 4-1 victory on home soil in the Bay Area. Can the current crop of players get confidence from a historical matchup with San Jose? Of course, notably, San Jose has never won at Providence Park.
Yeah. I think that plus they've beaten us twice already this year, right? And so whether it was the MLS game, the first one around, and then the Open Cup game where we gave up the goal so late, ultimately they've beaten us twice. And there's obviously not a lot of teams that can say that about us this year. So I think hopefully there's some motivation there as far as, and as well as the historical piece of what you said of they haven't won in Providence Park.
Friday night will be Portland's final game for a 2-week stretch up until they go on the road to face Toronto, and they're hoping to end on a good note. This is a very talented San Jose side. They've scored the most goals in the Western Conference, but their expected goals also says they should be giving up the second most goals in all of Major League Soccer. So Portland's attack wants to get out on the right foot, and I expect them to do so. It should be Felipe Mora likely getting the start with Kevin Kelsey getting the nod against St. Louis. Give me your reaction to the Jonathan Rodriguez news. Of course it's unfortunate. He scored 16 goals last year, a prolific player for the Portland Timbers, even if his tenure with the club was short, and we'll see what sort of position they fill at least one DP slot with.